Wizz Air, a budget European carrier, has been one of the most affected airlines following a recent Pratt Whitney engine crisis. The crisis has resulted in the mass grounding of many aircraft powered by gear turbofan engines or GTFs, impacting really your A320 family of aircraft. Those problems, which have led to persistent grounding spurred on by maintenance delays, reliability concerns, and supply chain constraints, have meant that Wizz Air has been unable to carry out its operations in a proper manner, and as a result, at worst, cancellations have been forced to occur, alongside adjusted expectations of what growth is actually going to look like in the coming years. This has primarily not exactly been all that optimal, with a lack of growth rather forecasted thanks to the groundings than, say, improvements across the board. Wizz Air has also said that support from Pratt Whitney will continue and include, yes, your operational support, but probably in a more important fashion, compensation packages which will cover the airline's losses. Compensation is often seen in scenarios such as these and considered to be a last resort if difficulties cannot be resolved soon after a problem is first identified. And in the case of the engine crisis, it's been ongoing now for well over a year, and therefore leaves an airline like Wizz Air at its wit's end with patience, and now is certainly feeling the adverse effects on a financial level. The compensation will allow the airline to cover all the direct costs associated with the aircraft that have already A, been grounded, or B, are expected to be grounded in the future. The fresh arrangement between the airline and engine manufacturer is expected to go into 2026 at the earliest to cover all the related costs that will impact the airline. Despite a new year arriving, the Pratt & Whitney GTF crisis is not expected to go anywhere anytime soon, and Wizz Air is forecasting groundings to continue. Many aircraft have already been taken out of service, allowing the airline and engine manufacturers to collaborate on fixes and resolve problematic engines, but that is far easier said than done, and therein lies some of the biggest difficulties. Look over at Thai Airways. They've come out and discussed the engine problems that they're facing, really focusing in on your maintenance difficulties, which has meant that an engine will go in, and instead of taking 90 days, it bumps up to 150, this impacting their schedule. Over the upcoming fiscal year, Wizz Air is expecting around 40 aircraft, part of its current fleet of the A320 family, will be grounded due to engine issues, aligning with the compensation package that'll lead into 2026. This highlights how long the expected difficulties will continue, as both parties don't forecast any substantial improvements in 2025. For each carrier, however, the reactivation of aircraft will come at a different rate, with some airlines affected hoping that 2025 will see signs of improvements, whereas for others this will not be the case. Worse still, Wizz Air has said that while things aren't expected to improve in 2025, the groundings are going to continue into 2026. However, thanks to the delivery of new planes and the slowly but surely reactivation of grounded ones, things will slowly be able to grow again. So while 2025 may not look great, 2026 is at the very least when we should start seeing some improvements, but the groundings will still continue. All this provides a very complicated environment for the airline in a heavily competitive space, where you simply can't give a competitor airline even an inch, for you risk losing market share. And that, of course, is the concern of Wizz Air when they're going up against the likes of EasyJet and Ryanair. You can let me know your thoughts on this crisis that just continues to rampage on down below in the comments. Please take care, do be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow for your next industry recap or singular aviation news video.
And we'll fly.